Hey guys, how are you all? Hope so you all are doing well. Okay, so let's start the story without any further conversation. Well, this is the second part of the story. Jimin come in the living room. He see everyone. Is there Ria? Come, Ria Jimin. I do. As you said, my dresses is here. Jimin, oh, that's good. You, Ria, no, till not now. Uh, Jimin, then go and change. If you want some changes, do as you still have time. Ria, all right. Shirwan, Mrs. Min, Jimin son, there is a Mrs. Min. What? Jimin son, the chef I called for tonight. Dinner is not here. What we do now, Jimin? Oh, you said mates to make the dinner. Mrs. Min, I don't them son. I make the food by myself, but I'm thinking, how can I make that much? So you tell me what I do. I am asking if you know any chef, tell me. Jimin, I don't know, auntie, but I can help you. It's all fine. I am good in cooking. Mrs. Min, you sure, son? Jimin, yes, auntie. Let me just see the work once. And Ria, after that, I come in the kitchen to help you. Mrs. Min, thank you so much, my son. She, him, and Jimin smile and then she go. Zari, look like you really did on everyone. She said and Jimin see her, he feel from her. Jimin, sorry, Miss Zari, don't even think you can make your place in this house. Jimin, and why would, huh? Kौन? And why would I do that? I am just here for work. Okay, so go leave Jimin. Leave Jimin confused. Jimin, and who said I am anyone? Well, I think I have to. He think Jimin done from his work. He about to go in the kitchen. Then think about Chungi. He stop on his way. Ja. He stop on his way and see Yungi room door is open. Jimin, why he run? He's at me, huh? I have to see him. Such a kid he is. He think and he go inside the room. Jimin see the room. Jimin he black. He mumble and then the door closed. Jimin turn and see Yoongi who's standing in front of him while folding his hand. Jimin, you are at me. Why? Jimin went toward him. Yoongi, who I am to at you? Huh? Jimin, now tell me. Yoongi, why you are at me? Yoongi, you go. Ria must be calling you. Jimin means Yoongi san. Yoongi always Ria. Huh? I hold your hand and you make fun of me. How can you do that? He said, and Jimin started laughing. Yoongi see him. He smiled. Jimin, you are from your own sister, huh? Oh my, he is laughing and Yoongi see him and sign. How can he would be at him when he looked that much beautiful? Jimin, listen, it's Ria, so I have to give her proper time. Yoongi, and what about me? He hold him by his Jimin about you. He start to think, Jimin, why would I give you time? You still don't understand towards you, or you just don't want to understand. Jimin smiled to see him. Jimin, the path is on which you are walking, Yoongi. Huh, hmm. We can't, be. We have a huge difference, Yoongi and Aisa. And what's the difference, huh? Jimin, you are the CEO, and I am just a simple Yoongi. Trust me, my heart don't think about this before for you. He said, and Jimin see him, he is looking down with a smile. Jimin gave me time to think. Yoongi, you take, but I know your answer is yes. Jimin, how you know? Yoongi, your eyes speaks more than your Jimin, so you read eyes. Yoongi, I do, just yours. He said on his forehead. Jimin closed his eyes. He is feeling calm. Yoongi see Jimin. Yoongi, you are the most important person, Jimin. Don't go from me. I only you. His lil make Jimin so fast. Jimin, I have to go. Yoongi, where his fingers with him. Jimin saying, Jimin, to help your mom. Yoongi, mom, no, are you? He said, and Jimin seeing him with his widened eyes. Jimin, what? Why you tell her, Yoongi? What she think about me, Yoongi? That's the cute and chubby boy is going to be her. He said, and Jimin signed Jimin Yoongi. Now it's to go in front of her. Yoongi, it's not. If you don't fail, Jimin signed to see him. Jimin, okay, now I am going. Don't be at me because of things, he said. And Yoongi checker, Yoongi, alright, go. If you want something, tell me, okay? Hmm. I saw me. Jimin nodded with a smile. He about to go. Yeah, I saw. But stop as Yoongi hold his hand. Jimin see him. Okay, so wait a minute. Let me. Hmm. Jimin come in. Jimin come in the kitchen and say, Mrs. Min. Jimin, auntie, Mrs. Min. Oh, you come, son. Jimin, yeah. What you are? What you are making, Mrs. Min? Tell him the menu. Jimin nodded. Jimin, then I make the salad first and place on the side. After that, I start to make the fried rice, Mrs. Min. Jimin, you recommended what we make in sweets. Jimin, Mrs. Min, perfect. Jimin, I know how to make. I make the Mrs. Min, okay, as you said, and they start to do the cooking with a little gossips. Mrs. Min, Jimin, yes, auntie. Mrs. Min, can I ask you something? A little bit, Mrs. Min. I know it's to ask. Still, Jimin smile. Jimin, he is a good person. He respect people a lot and also a kind-hearted, just like you. Mrs. Min chuckled. Mrs. Min, so you said my son is not Jimin? Of course not. But why, Mrs. Min? You will go to know soon. And then Zari come. She said Jimin and sign. Zari, why you are doing work, sister, when he is here? Jimin didn't say anything and continued to do his work. Mrs. Min, it's his favor on me, Zari. He is doing work with me. Otherwise, this is not his work. Jimin, auntie, can you check the ones? Mrs. Min nodded. Mrs. Min, perfect. If you want, add a little bit. Jimin, I am also thinking. Zari, go from there, and they're done. From the dinner, both do high five with each other. Jimin, so finally we are done, Mrs. Min. Thank you so much. Jimin, no, auntie. Please don't. Oops, I forget to see Ria. She start. Mrs. Min chuckle and then she also go from there. Not even 10 minutes pass. Someone come. Um, Even 10 minutes pass and put something in the maid is about to enter in the kitchen and see her eyes wide and maid. What she do? She about to see, but Mrs. Min come and order them to place on the dining table. In dining table, Ria is come. They all sit, and on the dining table, Jimin is about to go home. As his work finished, he is waiting for Yoongi so he can inform him or not. Suddenly, maid come. Maid, Jimin sir. Jimin, yes. Maid, can I tell you something? Promise you don't take my name, Jimin. What happened, maid? First promise. Jimin, promise now. Tell me, maid. I see Jia ma'am something in the sweet. She said, maid. Jimin shocked. Jimin, you sure? Maid, I am sure that's why I am telling you. If I tell anyone else, they don't believe me. Jimin, oh no. Jimin, see the dish is on the of the table. Yoongi is not at home. He go out for some work, and Jimin don't tell what he do. And then he see Ria. Jimin, Ria, listen. Ria, wait. She about to go, but her stop her. Ria signed Jimin as 2 minutes. Jimin is as he know what's come next. They do that dinner. Jimin is thinking what he do with the sweet dish now. Mrs. Min, Rohan, son. Eat more, Rohan. No, auntie, I am fine. Zari, why don't you taste sweet dish? She said, Jen. Jimin eyes widened. Rohan, okay, if you said Zari and Mrs. Min serve him. Jimin think to stop her, but he don't know what he do. She serve him. He about to eat. Jimin, I don't care what happened. He the plate from him and on the river is this behavior. She and Jimin, I'm sorry, but there is in this. He said to make everyone shocked. And Mrs. Min, what? Jimin, yes, the dish is Zari. Who do this, huh? Jimin, it's true. Please don't eat this, Zari. Oh, really? Then prove that you ate this. Ria, no way, auntie. If something to him, then Zari, if something is in this, then he make this dish, Mrs. Min. But it doesn't mean he had something, Zari. Then how you confirm? Jimin is so scared. Mr. Min gave this to the whose he ordered the maid, and she nodded and go from there. Zari see him. She is Jimin is so Jimin. I don't do anything. He mumbled, and Ria nodded. Ria, I know. And then maids come. Maid, he was right there. She said, make everyone shocked. Zari, how you something? How first you do this? And then him, Jimin, I don't do anything. Zari, you make the dish, Jia, and all the time he is the one who was in the kitchen with Min auntie. Jimin, but I. Jimin look at the maid and then looking down. Zari, you, she, him, and Jimin eyes wide, and he don't look at her but roll from his eyes. Mr. Min, Zari, from here. You see his game, brother. Thank nothing happens. Jimin closed his eyes and son. He didn't say anything. Take his bag and go. There, Ria Jimin. There, Ria Jimin. She go, but Rohan hold her hand. Say, thank God, everything is okay. Let's do the dinner. They all sit and start to eat. Zari is to look at Jia, who's eating peacefully. After some time, YoOngI come and join them. He talk with them and Ria is silent. The guests go. She is in the dining room thinking about the whole scene. YoOngI, what happened? Why you are silent? Ria looked at him with eyes. YoOngI, Ria, what happened? Where Jimin here? Jimin did it with him. I know he don't do anything. She into and YoOngI become more. YoOngI, tell me what happens. हो गया? YoOngI, tell me what happens. What they do? Why they do this, huh? Made Ria, ma'am. Ria, see her. Made he don't do anything. I was going in the kitchen when I see a lady something in the dishes. I don't see her face. I about to go so I can remove the dishes from the table, but ma'am called me and said, wait a minute. My hair is really something. I can, but ma'am called me and said to me I was placed. And Jimin said maybe Zari ma'am do. I hmm. He said and go. Ria wipe her. Jia come and see her. Jia, oh why you are Ria? You are so. I don't let you successful in your. Remember this. Gia, you think this? Go and hear the living room. Everyone is talking about me and Jungi. We are like young agree. Gia, he too. She chuckled and coughed from the daydreaming. Hmm, okay. Jimin is in. Jimin is in his room. He is Jimin. There is no use to be kind here in this. They think what I do. They do this with me. Jimin is. And then the balcony door opened. Jimin see. He became his stand up about to run but stopped to see Yoongi. Yoongi, huh? Why your room is here? I come as I don't want to disturb your parents' sleep. Jimin see him and then reality hits him. He wiped his as Yoongi went to him. Jimin see his Yoongi they you and you come like this. Why you give me reasons to more, he said, and Gemini start to Yoongi they call there by themselves. Hmm. He said in voice, Jimin, I don't do anything, Yoongi. I know, and you no need to explain me. I know what I have to do now. Jimin looked up to see him. Jimin, that's why I said you, Yoongi. Don't be so to me. Everyone think me as a Yoongi. Listen me now. Listen me now. You care for me or for them? Jimin, why they me Yoongi and you care? Jimin didn't say anything and looking down Yoongi and okay, so I don't do voiceover on this text. My 10 seconds voiceover are left finally. Finally, 10 seconds voiceover are left. Hmm. And um. Okay. Jimin open his eyes and see him, and then the reality hits him. Yoongi, Jimin, go from here. Yoongi, listen me. Okay, so I don't do the voiceover on this one. Also, yeah, like और मैं क्या करूँ? नहीं कर सकती तो नहीं कर सकती. I can't do the voiceover on this text. Huh? Well, I write a good one. Yeah, that's good. Hannah? Huh? It's become so streaks. And here the voiceover finish. The scene start or not? Yeah, this was the last, and then the next scene start. And Jimin, Yoongi, listen me, Jimin. I don't go like this. You have to come with me. Jimin, you? How can I come with you? Yoongi, I don't care. You come. And Zari auntie said sorry to you. Jimin sighed as no, Jimin, no, Yoongi. Said Ria, I sent someone else. Yoongi, no, Jimin, I don't come now. I talk with Sir tomorrow. Yoongi, stand up, Yoongi. If you me and want to see me, then come on that time. I wait for you. He said, and Jimin eyes widen. Jimin, don't do this. Yoongi, I wait for you. He and Jimin see him going. He see himself in the mirror and he looking down and a small smile crept on his face. Okay. And next day, this is the third last scene. Next day, Yoongi sit on the chair, stair steps. He is waiting for Jimin, and playing with the. It's 8 a.m. and Jimin don't come. Yoongi plays the on his hand and 10 minutes more pass. He places a small on his hand and see Jimin enter in the mansion. He on the side and went toward him without any Yoongi. Yoongi Jimin, someone come. Jimin Yoongi, someone come. Yoongi back and he hide his hand, which is full with the Jimin. Just because of you, I come. Yoongi, good. Otherwise, you come on my Jimin. Yoongi, don't talk with me. He said, then Ria said, Jimin, Ria, Jimin. I gave you Jimin. Ria, forget what happened yesterday. Ria, why come? She dragged Jimin in the living room and Yoongi felt proud on his sister. This is the second last scene. Jimin come and see everyone. Mrs. Min see Jimin, Mrs. Min Jimin's son. Zari see Jimin and looking down. She know now Ria don't stop as she speak yesterday. She is silent because of her. Mrs. Min, I'm sorry, Jimin's son. Jimin, please, auntie. Don't said anything. Mrs. Min, what happened yesterday? We are really so. Mr. Min, what happened yesterday? We are really so. Jimin's son. Your is our duty, but sorry, did you, Ria, tell us everything? It's not your. Even you, Rohan, you gave a big favor to us, please us, and we know yesterday you yourself become so without any reason. So, son, we ask for Jimin, don't do this. Uncle, it's okay. That was just a Ria. Dad, you said us if it's our we have to said sorry. Said Zari auntie to say Zari what? Mr. Min stay silent, Zari. It's on Jimin. Jimin son, if you said Zari, she said sorry. Tell us. Jimin, no uncle. It's okay. I am fine like this, Ria. It's a big opportunity, Jimin. She mumbled and Jimin signed as no and to pass him a smile. Mrs. Min. Okay, son, thank you so much. We don't you. If you want, you can do. Or you can do work. Otherwise, no. If it's your choice, Ria, please, Jimin, do the work. Jimin, alright, Ria, I do. And she become happy and looking at him with eyes. Everyone go from the. Listen, Papaji. Everyone go from the living room. Ria, we hear Zari auntie said sorry, but if she's doing, you said no. Why? Ria, she's older than me. Ria, come on, Jimin. She signed and goes. Yoongi see him with a smile. Jimin, what you are saying, Yoongi? That's my family. You saw much. Jimin, yeah, but some me also, Yoongi. They are nothing to me. Who you? He went to him. Jimin see him. He take it steps back. Yoongi, I come to meet you again today. Well, why don't you tell your parents about me? It's good to come from balcony. Jimin, you can come from the door. I don't. I stay. Okay, so this is the maybe. No, I'm sorry, Jimin. No, he said with a smile. Okay, so this is the last thing. And third last text. Some days pass. The is near as just 2 days are left. Jimin is in the kitchen and Yoongi is waiting for him in the living room. And well, he come here daily and sometimes stay here in Togo or sometimes go. Yoongi never any he always asks from Jimin he did or not. Jimin come in the living room and see he is doing something on the laptop. Jimin, what you are doing? He sits beside him, places his head on his shoulder. Yoongi, me, nothing. Just finding a good movie so we can watch Jimin. Yoongi, let's watch this. Yoongi chuckle. Yoongi, yeah, and Jimin, no. Why would I have? Last scene, the second last track, and Jimin start to watch the movie. Both are watching movie. Yoongi one hand and the other is Jimin see him, but he don't said anything and continue to watch the movie. Just as Jimin looking down and Jimin didn't look at him and continue to watch the movie as they become more and Jimin in mind sometimes because of him. Why he's like this? Jimin closes his laptop. Jungi, what happened? Jimin, nothing. I am feeling sleepy. Hmm. Okay, so finally it's going to finish. After that, I will sleep peacefully. Last, the last track. Tomorrow I have Tomorrow I have so much work to do. Yoongi, okay, then sleep. Jimin, you don't go home. Yoongi, you want to go? Jimin and man, honestly, I don't want to go. Jimin, your family must be waiting for Yoongi. Alright, take care, Jimin, and mind one thing about him. He never me for anything, no matter how much some he then stand up. Yoongi, I come to pick you tomorrow. Jimin, why? Yoongi, I don't want you come. Jimin, son, driver. Yoongi, no, I don't want you come with him. I come by myself. Jimin, okay, you also take care of him. And then Yoongi go, Jimin, son, in real life. Jimin, I'm so much his thing can become. Okay, wait for the next part. Hope so you all like. If you like, then subscribe and tell me in comments. Bye bye. Take care of yourself. Saranghaeeee. See you in the next video. So soon I will upload the next part soon. Also, bye bye. Take care. Saranghaeeee.